Loud restaurants where you can't hear a thing, confusing menus, the hidden salt and sugar, that awkward moment when the check arrives for a group. Sound familiar? These little stressors can steal the joy from a meal out, turning a potential pleasure into a frustrating chore. But what if you had a simple solution for every single one of them? In this guide, we will dismantle the 7 most common dining out dilemmas. For each problem, I will give you a practical, easy-to-use strategy you can put into practice tonight. It's time to solve these problems for good. Dining out is more than just food. It's a celebration, a connection, a way to stay woven into the vibrant fabric of your community. When anxiety makes us say no to those invitations, our world can start to feel a little smaller. This guide is about giving you the confidence to say yes again. It's about taking back control so you can focus on the laughter, the friendship, and the delicious food. If you believe that feeling confident and joyful is your birthright at any age, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We share simple, uplifting strategies like these every single week. Today, we are building a toolkit, a complete set of strategies for every challenge a modern restaurant can throw at you. By the end of our time together, you will have a clear plan, you will feel prepared, and you will be ready to simply enjoy yourself. Let's begin with the biggest offender, the problem that can ruin an evening before the appetizers even arrive, the noise. You're sitting across from a dear friend, thrilled to catch up, but you can only grasp every third word over the clatter of plates and booming music. You find yourself leaning in, straining, nodding, and smiling while hoping you're reacting to the right part of the story. It is utterly exhausting. Why are restaurants so loud? It's not your imagination. Modern design loves hard surfaces like concrete, brick, and high ceilings that cause sound to bounce around uncontrollably. The first step is knowing the problem isn't you, it's the room. This knowledge is power because it means we can plan for it. The most effective solution happens before you even leave home. It's the power of a 5-minute investigation. When a new restaurant is suggested, look it up online. Don't just glance at the star rating, read the actual reviews. Here is the key. Use the search function within the reviews page. Type in keywords like quiet, intimate, or conversation. You will quickly see comments like a lovely quiet spot where we could actually talk. Conversely, searching for loud will reveal warnings like great food, but we had to shout. This simple search can save you an hour of pure frustration. But did you know your smartphone might have a secret tool to help with this? Certain apps can measure sound levels, and some review platforms even include noise level ratings, letting you choose a spot that's certified for good conversation. But what if you're invited somewhere last minute? Your power isn't gone. You still have a critical tool, your voice. When you check in with the host, make a simple, polite request. As they search for a table, say with a warm smile, "If it's possible, we would love a quieter table. A booth in the corner would be wonderful." A booth is a fantastic choice because its high backs and upholstered seats absorb sound, creating a small pocket of peace. A table against a wall is always better than one in the middle of the room. By simply asking, you give the host a chance to be your hero. They know the restaurant's secrets, which tables are far from the clanging kitchen doors or the bustling bar. They want you to have a great experience. There's one more strategy for conquering noise, and it involves mastering time. The same restaurant can feel dramatically different depending on the clock. A restaurant at 7:30 on a Saturday night is at its peak volume, but that same spot at 5:30 on a Tuesday, it's a different world, calm, relaxed, and much quieter. Consider becoming a fan of the early dinner. Not only is it less noisy, but service is often more attentive because the staff isn't overwhelmed. Or reframe your idea of dining out entirely. A weekday lunch with a friend can feel just as special as a weekend dinner, and it is almost always a more peaceful and affordable experience. You have the power to choose not just where you eat, but when. By choosing your time wisely, you gift yourself a pleasant, relaxing meal. So the next time noise is a concern, remember your three-part plan. Investigate online, ask for a quiet spot, and choose your time wisely. This simple approach puts you in control. Now, let's move to our second challenge, one that happens inside our own minds, the worry over dietary restrictions. You open the menu and your brain launches into a complex calculation. How much sugar is in that sauce? How much salt is in that soup? If I eat this, how will it affect my health goals? The joy of choosing a meal can be replaced by a sense of dread. There's also the fear of being that person, the one who is difficult. So you might stay silent, order something you know isn't the best choice, and spend the evening feeling guilty or even unwell. This cycle has to stop. Enjoying a meal out while honoring your health are not competing goals. You can achieve both. It just requires learning a new skill, becoming a menu detective. When you scan a menu, think of it as a collection of clues. The words used to describe a dish reveal how it's prepared. Your first mission is to spot the hero words: grilled, steamed, broiled, baked, or roasted. These cooking methods typically use less fat and let the food's natural flavors shine. A grilled salmon is almost always a more predictable choice than something with a mysterious description. Now, let's identify the words of caution. Be mindful of dishes described as creamy, crispy, fried, breaded, smothered, or rich. Creamy often signals a sauce made with heavy cream and butter. Crispy or fried means it's been cooked in a great deal of oil. This doesn't mean these dishes are forbidden, but it's about making an informed choice rather than being surprised by what arrives. By learning to decode these keywords, you gain enormous power. But what about the hidden ingredients, like the salt and sugar in sauces? This brings us to the single most powerful strategy for healthy dining. It's a simple, three-word phrase that changes everything: on the side. When you order a salad, ask for the dressing on the side. This allows you to control exactly how much you use. You can dip your fork in the dressing before each bite, getting all the flavor with a fraction of the fat and calories. When you order fish or chicken with a sauce, ask for the sauce on the side. This way you can see what it is and decide how much, if any, you want. This simple request puts you in the driver's seat. It's a polite, easy request any kitchen can accommodate. It transforms a dish from a mystery into a set of components you control. Make on the side your new dining motto. Now, what about when you need to be more specific? This can be the hardest part. We don't want to feel like we're making a fuss. Let's reframe this thought. You are not being difficult. You are being clear. Clarity is kindness, both to yourself and to the person trying to help you. A good server wants you to get a meal you will enjoy. The key is to be polite, clear, and concise. Instead of a long, apologetic story, try a simple, direct statement. For example, I'm keeping an eye on my sodium. Could you please ask the chef to prepare the vegetables with no added salt? Or, I have a gluten sensitivity. Is the chicken dish prepared without flour? Notice the tone. It's calm and confident. For those with serious food allergies, there's another excellent tool, the allergy card. This is a small, discreet card you can have printed that clearly lists your allergies. You simply hand it to your server and say, I have some serious food allergies. Could you please share this with the chef? This eliminates miscommunication and ensures the kitchen takes your needs seriously. It is a professional and highly effective way to communicate critical information. Let's tackle the third big source of stress, budget anxiety. You've had a wonderful evening, the food was delicious, the company delightful, and then the bill arrives. Your heart does a little flip. It's more than you expected, and suddenly a wave of financial worry washes over the lovely memories you just made. The pleasure of the meal is tainted by the stress of the payment. This is a common experience. Dining out can be expensive, and costs add up quickly. But feeling in control of your spending is just as important as feeling in control of your health. The solution here also begins with a proactive mindset. The most important decision you make about your budget happens before you even see the menu. It's the pre-decision. Before you go, decide on a comfortable spending amount. It could be $20 or $50. The number doesn't matter. What matters is that you have set a clear intention. This act alone reduces anxiety because you've created a boundary. Once you have your budget in mind, use it as a filter when you read the menu. Your eyes will naturally scan for options that fit your plan. This is where you can become a savvy menu navigator, looking for the sweet spots of value. One of the best-kept secrets of the restaurant world is the lunch menu. Many restaurants offer smaller, more reasonably priced versions of their popular dinner entrees at lunchtime. Suggesting a lunch date instead of a dinner date can often cut the cost of a meal nearly in half. Another fantastic strategy is to look for early bird specials or happy hour menus, which often feature great deals. Sometimes a couple of well-chosen appetizers from the happy hour menu can make for a more interesting and affordable meal than a single large entree. Think of it as creating your own personal tasting menu. Is it ever okay to just order an appetizer for dinner? Absolutely. With today's portion sizes, a hearty appetizer and a side salad can be a perfectly satisfying meal. Let's talk about portions and sharing. Restaurant portion sizes have grown significantly. Often, a single entree is more than enough food for 2 people. There is absolutely no shame in suggesting to a friend or partner that you share a main course. You could say, "That pasta sounds amazing, but I know I'll never finish it. Would you be interested in sharing it? And maybe we can get a salad to start." Most people are relieved by this suggestion. It allows you to taste a wonderful dish without overeating or overspending. If you are dining solo, you can create your own 2-for-1 meal. Plan to eat half of your entree at the restaurant and ask for the other half to go. You get a delicious meal tonight and a wonderful lunch tomorrow. It's a simple mental shift from "I have to finish this" to "I am getting 2 meals for the price of 1." Finally, be mindful of the extras. The cost of drinks can quickly double a bill. A simple strategy is to start with a glass of water with lemon. Savor it while you look over the menu. Then decide if you truly want that iced tea or glass of wine. Sometimes that initial glass of water is enough to quench your thirst, saving you several dollars. Now we arrive at a very modern problem: tech confusion. The server approaches, but instead of handing you a menu, they point to a small square on the table and say, "Just scan the QR code with your phone." For many, this is a moment of pure frustration. You might not have your phone, or you might not be comfortable using it this way. The text on the screen can be tiny and hard to read in dim light. It feels impersonal and alienating. You came out for a relaxing meal, not to troubleshoot technology. This can also extend to paying the bill on a complex digital tablet. This feeling of being left behind is real, but it is also completely solvable. You have more power here than you think. The first and most important solution is to remember you are the customer. Here is the magic phrase that works almost every time. When the server directs you to the QR code, simply smile and say, "Thank you, I'd actually prefer a physical menu, please." That's it. Most restaurants that use QR codes still have a few physical menus on hand for this very reason. There is no need to feel embarrassed or apologize for this request. Wanting to hold a menu is a perfectly reasonable preference. By asking for what you want clearly and politely, you will almost always get it. You are not being difficult, you are stating a preference. But what if you find yourself in that rare situation where they truly only have a digital menu? Or what if you want to learn how to use this new technology? Let's walk through it. It's easier than it looks. First, open the camera app on your smartphone, as if you were taking a picture. Simply point the camera so the QR code is visible on your screen. After a second, a notification or link will pop up on your screen. All you do is tap that link. The menu will open. Now the text might look small. To make it bigger, use your fingers to pinch and zoom. Place your thumb and index finger together on the screen and then spread them apart. The text will get larger. To make it smaller again, pinch your fingers together. That's all there is to it. Once you've done it once, you'll see how straightforward it is. The same principle applies to those little tabletop tablets for paying the bill. They can seem intimidating. If you feel even a moment of confusion, do not hesitate to ask for help. Get your server's attention and say, "I'm not familiar with this device. Could you please walk me through it?" Any good server will be happy to take 30 seconds to show you how to sign, select a tip, and get your receipt. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of intelligence. It is far better to ask for a quick tutorial than to accidentally choose the wrong tip amount or struggle in frustration. Remember, technology is a tool meant to serve us, not the other way around. Whether you opt out gracefully by asking for a traditional menu or engage by asking for help, the control always remains in your hands. Let's move to our fifth problem, which can make or break an evening: rushed or poor service. We've all been there. On one hand, the vanishing server. Your water is empty, you're ready to order, and you feel invisible. On the other hand, the server who's a little too efficient, bringing the check while you're still chewing. Both situations can make you feel devalued. The good news is that you can influence the pace and quality of your service. Think of it as conducting the orchestra of your meal. How do you do that? It starts with setting the tempo from the beginning. If you want a long, leisurely meal, you can signal this to your server right away. When they greet you, say something warm and friendly like, "We're so happy to be here tonight, and we're not in any rush. We'd love to take our time." This simple statement does wonders. It lets the server know your expectations. Conversely, if you are on a schedule, let them know that too. "We have tickets for a show at 8, so we'll need to be out by then." Clear communication is kindness. Body language is another powerful tool. The way you use your menu is a universal signal in the restaurant world. When you are still deciding, keep your menu open on the table. This tells any server that you are not yet ready. When you have made your decision, close your menu and place it on the table. This is the international sign for "I'm ready." A well-trained server will spot this from across the room. But what if you've closed your menu and you're still being overlooked? The goal is to get their attention politely. The best technique is to try and make eye contact. As your server walks by, turn your head and try to meet their gaze. A small smile is usually all it takes. If the restaurant is very busy, you can slightly raise your hand with just your index finger up as they approach. It's a subtle, respectful signal. Now, what happens if there's a mistake? Your food arrives and it's not what you ordered. It can feel awkward to speak up, but you deserve the meal you are paying for. The key is to be prompt and polite. Don't eat half the meal before you say something. As soon as you realize there's an issue, stop eating. Get your server's attention right away. When they come to the table, state the problem simply and without blame. For example, "Excuse me, I ordered my steak medium rare and this appears to be well done." A professional restaurant will immediately apologize and work to fix the mistake. Remember, handling these situations with grace and clarity will almost always get you a better result than showing anger. By using these simple communication strategies, you become a partner with your server in creating a wonderful dining experience. We now arrive at a challenge that can feel deeply personal: the fear of dining alone. For many, the idea of walking into a restaurant and saying, "Just one, please," is terrifying. We worry that people will stare, that they'll think we're lonely. This spotlight effect, the feeling that everyone is watching, can be so powerful that it keeps people from enjoying one of life's great simple pleasures. A meal enjoyed in your own company can be a beautiful act of self-care. It's a chance to savor your food and watch the world go by. How do we overcome this fear? It starts with a crucial mindset shift. You are not dining alone, you are treating yourself to a date. This isn't a sign of loneliness, it is a sign of confidence and independence. A person comfortable enough to sit in a restaurant and enjoy their own company is someone truly at peace with themselves. When you see it this way, the experience changes. You're not there because you have no one else, you're there because you chose to be. Your choice of where to sit can make a huge difference. For your first few solo dining adventures, the bar can be your best friend. A restaurant bar is socially designed for single patrons. There's no empty chair across from you. You have a built-in source of light conversation with the bartender if you choose. You can feel like a part of the scene without being the center of attention. If a bar doesn't appeal to you, ask the host for a small table for two in a corner or against a wall. A booth can also feel cozy and protected. These locations feel less exposed than a table in the center of the room, allowing you to relax. What is the single best seat in the house for a solo diner? It is the one that makes you feel the most at ease. To ease any lingering self-consciousness, come prepared with a light activity. Bring that book you've been meaning to finish, a magazine, or a small journal. This is often called a prop, but think of it as a superpower. It gives you something to focus on during any lulls, like the time between ordering and your food's arrival. It also sends a clear social signal that says, I am not just sitting here, I am here to read my book and enjoy a nice meal. This can instantly dissolve that feeling of being on display. Finally, create small, positive human connections. When the host greets you, smile. When your server introduces themselves, make eye contact and ask for a recommendation. What's your favorite thing on the menu? By creating these brief, warm interactions, you are no longer an anonymous single diner. You are a welcome guest. You've made allies, and you will be amazed at how this simple shift can transform your entire experience. Finally, we arrive at the last hurdle, the one that can undo a perfect meal right at the end. Problem number 7, the awkward bill split. The meal has been wonderful, the conversation sparkling. Then the server places a single bill in the center of the table. A tense silence falls. The mental gymnastics begin. Sarah only had a salad, but John had the steak and 2 glasses of wine. Should we split it evenly? Is that fair? Who has cash? It can become a confusing, uncomfortable negotiation. But this problem, more than any other, is almost entirely preventable with one golden sentence. Here is the master solution. It is proactive and eliminates all potential awkwardness. When you are with friends and the server first comes to the table, one person should cheerfully say, "Hello, just to make it easy on you later, we'll be on separate checks tonight." That's it. Say it right at the beginning. The server will be grateful because it makes their job easier. Each person can order freely, knowing they are only responsible for their own items. There will be no confusion, no negotiation, no resentment. But what if you forget? What if you get caught up in the conversation and the single bill is already on the table? Don't panic. You still have good options. First, see if the server can still split it. You can say, "I'm so sorry, we completely forgot to ask. Is it still possible to split this for us? We can tell you what each of us had." In many modern systems, this is still fairly easy. If the server says they can't, move to Plan B. One person can offer to pay the entire bill with their credit card, and the others can pay that person back using cash or a payment app. If the orders were similar in price, the group might just agree to split the bill evenly. This is the fastest option, but it relies on everyone feeling that it's fair. This brings us to tipping. Tipping can be another source of confusion, but we can simplify it. In the United States, a standard tip for good service is between 18 and 20% of the pre-tax bill. A simple way to calculate this without a calculator is the move the decimal trick. Look at your bill total. Let's say it's $50. To find 10%, just move the decimal point one place to the left. So 10% of $50 is $5. To get to 20%, you just double that number. A 20% tip would be $10. This quick mental math works for any bill amount and gets you to the right number easily. By mastering the art of the preemptive check split and understanding the simple math of tipping, you can ensure your meal ends as pleasantly as it began. And there you have it, the 7 biggest dining out dilemmas completely solved. From the overwhelming noise to the confusing menu, from budget worries to tech troubles, from slow service to the fear of dining alone, and finally to the awkwardness of splitting the bill. You now have a clear, practical solution for every single one of these challenges. These aren't just tips, they are tools. They are strategies that put the control back where it belongs, with you. The stress disappears when you have a plan. You no longer have to hope for a good experience, you now have the power to create one. Now, a common question I get is, this sounds like a lot of work. I just want to relax. I completely understand that feeling, but I invite you to see it differently. Think of this as a 5-minute investment that buys you an hour of pure relaxation. A quick online search for a quiet spot, a decision about your budget before you leave, these small actions beforehand are what create the conditions for genuine peace at the table. It is not about adding work, it is about removing worry. Some of you may also feel shy about speaking up or making special requests. If this is you, I encourage you to start small. Don't try to implement all these strategies at once. For your next meal out, choose just one small thing to try. Maybe you'll decide to ask for the dressing on the side. That's it. When you see how easy it is, it will build your confidence. Think of it as building a confidence muscle. Each small, successful interaction makes the next one feel a little bit easier. Finally, remember to adapt these strategies for any specific physical needs you may have. Never feel hesitant to ask for what you need to be comfortable. This could mean calling ahead to ask about wheelchair accessibility or steps. When you arrive, you can absolutely request a table with better lighting to read the menu or a chair with better back support. These are not special favors. They are valid requests that help you have a safe and enjoyable experience. Your comfort and safety are paramount. The next time a friend invites you out to eat, I want you to say yes with a smile. And when you do, choose just one of these strategies to try. Perhaps you'll be the one to suggest separate checks. Or maybe you'll try asking for the sauce on the side. That's your first step. It's about taking back the joy, the connection, and the simple pleasure of sharing a meal. For more ways to build confidence and find joy in every single day, make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell turned on so you never miss these simple, uplifting ideas. We are so glad to have you as part of our community. Now, go out there and enjoy your meal. You deserve it.